Now, we have said that the SWOT analysis is a template for strategic planning to give strategic direction and guidance to our businesses. So, what is strategy? What is strategy? We define strategy as the art and science of diversion, dissuasion, deception, deterrence, and if need be, destruction. Define strategy as the art and science of diversion, dissuasion, deception, deterrence, and if need be, destruction. What do we mean by diversion? The first thing is to divert your competition, to divert them from focusing on what you are really doing, from focusing on what you are focusing on, to sell them what you might call the red herring, to sell them a dummy. That's diversion, so that they are never really sure of what you are up to. That gives you the element of surprise. So you gain advantage of first mover. You gain momentum, and you gain competitive advantage before your competition even becomes really aware of what you are up to. So that's diversion. Diversion, they must begin to think that you are far when you are very near. They must think that you are near when in fact you are far. That's diversion. Divert them. So that's the first thing. You can, for instance, divert them by selling dummy products, that these are your lead products, whereas they are not. And so they move in that direction and you move in a totally different direction. What if that does not succeed? They are onto your game. So what do? You move to the next level, what we call dissuasion. Dissuade them. You dissuade them from moving into your terrain, either by gaining some strategic alliance or by influencing certain policies that will discourage them from going after you. That's dissuasion. Dissuade them. Where that fails, then you go into deception. They must be deceived. They must be deceived as to what is viable and what is not viable, what is possible and what is not possible. Remember, this is war. And if you want to succeed, you must treat it as such. Deception. And maybe some of us will cringe at this. You don't have a choice, because if you do not apply it, somebody is applying it to you in the business environment. That's just the way it is. And then next is deterrence. You want to deter them by now confronting them. And usually, you will now bring out your own competitive edge. You will now deter them by making them pay a heavy price for coming after you. Example, I'm sure we all remember Coca-Cola and the Chivita. So that is why you may have acquisitions and mergers. Deter them. Of course, merger or acquisition rather, merger can be a deterrence, but acquisition is the final stage. That's destruction. You just acquire. A lot of businesses have been acquired and they were just stripped, i.e., you pay the owners, you leave that business, and you don't continue with the business, you strip the assets of the company. End of story. However, the object of strategy in business is not to destroy. It is to achieve a desired, favorable, competitive positioning, because you still need competition to ginger you to always go a notch higher. Because if you are the sole monopoly and there's no competition, lethargy will set in, complacency will set in. So the object of strategy really is it to destroy competition. It's not. Is to put competition in their place, so that when your industry or your type of business is being considered, it will be you and then the others. It will be you and the others. So what you leave over, others can begin to fight for. You must develop the long-term view. In using strategic initiatives, remember it is not a sprint, it is a marathon. You must be ready for the long game. For however long it takes, you must be ready. There will be no quick fixes, and you must understand that. There will be surprises, you must appreciate that. Things will come that you have planned for. Things will come that you never foresaw. So you must be ready for the long game. Most of us in going into business, we want immediate gratification. We want immediate profitability. So one of the necessities, so to speak, is the ability to defer gratification. Ability to run along without gratification for the long term. Then eventually you outlast competition. So when competition all drop off, you find yourself standing alone in the business environment, and all the game is yours. And then you begin to set the rules. And you must drive this strategy with what we call SMART goals. SMART goals. SMART, S-M-A-R-T-S. SMART goals. Your goals must be specific. They must be measurable. They must be achievable. They must be realistic. They must be time-bound, and they must be stretching. You cannot set goals arbitrarily. Goals that do not meet this criteria that we have set here, they are not goals, they are mere wishes. And if wishes were horses, the blind will ride. You cannot afford to be wishy-washy about the strategic management of your business. Your goals must be specific as to what you want to achieve. Usually in numbers, but oftentimes again in quality, in description. They must be measurable, whether it is numbers, whether it's quality, they must be measurable. You must find a way of measuring them, because it's only what gets measured that gets done. If you cannot measure it, then anything goes. It must be measurable. So we must be able to reduce these things into a format that every and anyone can see clearly that yes, we are there or we are not there. It is not, there's no emotion about it. And then it must be achievable. If it is not achievable, therefore it's not believable, you just put it there, nobody's going to shoot for it. Even yourself, you're not going to shoot for it. It must be achievable. If people can see that this is achievable, look, it can be big. Achievable does not mean thinking small. It can think big. All you have now to convey is how this thing can be done. That this is achievable. Now take on the next one. That it is realistic for our circumstances. Because not only must it be achievable, it must also be realistic for us. Because what is achievable for one may not be realistic for another. It's achievable, is it realistic? So it also must be realistic. And then it must be time bound. We are doing this within so and so time frame. So no hanky-panky, no procrastination. Everybody will run in the same direction on the same time zone. Not that somebody is sleeping and somebody is hoping that what should be done today we can do it tomorrow. No. So the goals must be smart, and then finally it must be stretching. It must stretch us. If it doesn't stretch us, then we might as well just go and sleep. If it's on stretching and it's too low, and it's achievable, we will fail. That's the truth. Many fail because their goals are not stretching. It's only when it is stretching that it takes us to another level. So, you must be ready to back up these goals with all your resources, everything. You must be willing to stake your continuing existence on the achievement of these goals. Because indeed, your continued relevance depends on their achievement anyway. Because if you fail to achieve them, your competition is not sleeping. If you are not moving, your competition is moving, and they will catch up with you, and eventually you become irrelevant. So there's no room for complacency, there's no room for laxity, there's no room for dilly-dallying. Now, but the question is, from what we have said so far, you yourself, as you begin to look at your business or whatever it is you have set your heart to do, and I hope we have anyway, are you ready to stake your very existence on the achievement of those goals? Once you have set those goals. Because if you are going to hold back, everybody will see that you yourself will hold back, and the people will hold back. If you want 100% commitment, you must give 110% commitment. If you want people committed to your goals, you yourself must be irrevocably and committed without negotiation. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? In war, like I have said, there's no second position. You either win or you perish. So once you have set those goals, you either achieve it, or those who can't measure up, they are out. That's just it. If people know that there's room to maneuver, they will maneuver. If people know that there's room to fall short, they will fall short. It happened time and again. Business success does not happen by chance. Business success is deliberate and is intentional. I'm not taking away from us the power of prayers, no. But also remember that your competition is also praying. So that's given for everybody. Everybody is praying. But everybody will act differently. That's what the difference is. You may be surprised that you and your competition, you attend the same church, you go to the same pastor, you go to the same spiritual father, and the same prophecies are given to all of you. But yet, one of us must come out first. So prayer is good, but you must walk and pray. Not watch and pray. You must walk and pray. Longevity in business is the result of deliberate planning, sacrifice, and flawless execution. You must plan and you must make the sacrifice. That's what we talked about, deferred gratification. You cannot use your business to meet your every whim, to satisfy your every desire. No, you must be able and ready to delay self-gratification. It's not unusual to find entrepreneurs going for years without even a salary. We already this afternoon, the richest man in the world has no house, has no car, and I don't know what his other values are, but it's not tied to these mundane things. It's tied to the overarching success of his business endeavor, his business enterprise. And you must be that way 24/7. I was also watching an interview about his work ethics. He works like 18 hours every day. And he has been like that for years without experiencing burnout. This is where we talked about passion in the beginning. So longevity in business is not accidental. There's no such thing as he was lucky. Not in business. What we call luck is a result of deliberate planning, deliberate sacrifice, and deliberate execution. Deliberate cultivation and grooming of the next generation of leaders is also mandatory. Something can happen to you, it's just somebody else to take over. Or will your exit also mark the end of all your endeavors? So it's part of what you must put in as you are planning. And then, don't always think about winning every battle. It's not every battle you want to go fight in the business place. There are some, just let them go. But focus on winning the war. Focus on winning the war. Because business is war. And a war is made up of so many battles. Don't expend your energy on winning every battle. You don't respond to every dog that barks at you. If you do, you're never going to get to your destination. So pick your fights. Don't get into a fight you're not likely to win. Sometimes the competition can be insurmountable. So rather than going into direct confrontation, you may want to partner. You may want to co-opt. You may want to have, what we may call co-opetition. You co-opt your competition into your game. So basically, this is business strategy. And at this juncture too, I want to take it easy and ask questions. Do we have any questions or any reactions?